Everyone's getting along. So that's a good thing, right? Hey everyone, Kyle Fraser here, and welcome back to Never Think Alone. Today I want to talk about something that might sound counterintuitive at first. The idea that conflict, yes, actual disagreement, might be exactly what your team needs to create better work. I've been thinking a lot about how we approach collaboration at Plus Narrative in different workspaces, and there's a pattern I keep seeing. We all show up to meetings, do the polite nodding, avoid stepping on toes, and leave with what feels like consensus. Everyone's getting along, so that's a good thing, right? But what if that harmony is actually holding us back? Let me paint a picture. You're sitting in a meeting, someone, often the highest ranking person, throws out an idea, everyone nods, maybe a few clarifying questions, no real pushback. The meeting ends and you walk out thinking, that was pleasant, but something feels off. What's happening here is what I call the consensus illusion. It looks productive on the surface, but beneath that, several things are going wrong. Good ideas are getting left behind because people don't want to seem negative. Critical feedback could improve the work, but it never gets voiced. The loudest or most senior voice steers everything. Problems that everyone secretly sees don't get addressed until they're much bigger. I saw this firsthand in a design sprint that I facilitated for a corporate client, and the team wouldn't challenge their boss's ideas, even when they had obvious concerns. And ironically, the boss later told me that he wished that they would push back more. But the culture of being nice was actually frustrating everyone. We avoid healthy conflict for a few reasons. First, most of us aren't trained to separate ideas from our own identities. We worry that challenging someone's idea means that we're challenging them as a person. Second, in many organizations, disagreement gets labeled as not being a team player or being difficult, and there's a professional risk involved. Thirdly, in diverse teams, which should be wired for innovation due to their differences, cultural expectations around authority or politeness can make dissent even harder. And finally, without structure, disagreement can feel chaotic and unproductive. Many teams have opened debates that spiraled into personal territory, so they avoid it altogether. I'm going to make the case for constructive conflict. What's interesting is when you look at the most consistently innovative companies like Pixar, Google, IDEO, they all deliberately build systems for constructive disagreement. They understand something crucial. Good ideas don't emerge from consensus. They emerge from creative friction, from having your thinking challenged, from being forced to articulate why you believe what you believe. Constructive conflict isn't about personality clashes or arguing for the sake of it. It's about creating the right conditions for ideas to be properly tested before they go out into the world. The goal isn't making everyone happy, it's finding the most truth possible. And that requires some productive tension. So here's a simple framework for better disagreement. How do we create space for healthy dissent without descending into chaos or hurt feelings? Here's a practical way to do it. I've used this with teams, and it's made all the difference. At number one, set the intention and the ground rules. Start by explicitly saying something like, for us to get our best work, we need to hear different perspectives, including disagreement. We're going to challenge ideas, not people, because this isn't personal. It's about creating something better than any of us could alone. This simple act of permission setting changes everything. I found it tells people that disagreement isn't just tolerated, it's expected. At number two, frame the challenge clearly. Make sure everyone understands the problem you're trying to solve or the decisions that need to be made. Use open-ended questions to invite different thinking. Questions like, what assumptions are we making? Or what could go wrong with this approach? Create space for constructive criticism. And number three, actively invite diverse viewpoints. This is about making a point of hearing everyone, especially the quieter team members who might have important perspectives, but they don't naturally speak up. A technique I love is rotating the devil's advocate role. Each team member takes a turn, challenging the group's thinking. This makes it about the process, not the person. At number four, respond to disagreement with curiosity. When someone challenges an idea, especially yours, thank them, then get curious. Tell me more about that concern, or what am I missing here? What question should I be asking that I'm not? Your response sets the tone, so if you get defensive, others will stop speaking up. At number five, keep conflicts focused and respectful. Watch for signs that the discussion is becoming personal or circular, and use structured formats to keep things productive. I tend to do a quick pros and cons round where everybody contributes, or I force people to disagree and commit anyway. So an exercise where people can vote based on who the decider is, who the person is chosen beforehand, who will make the final call. This is also where red team, blue team debates to steelman the argument in both directions tend to work best. At number 6, synthesize and strengthen the ideas. After a healthy debate, I like to recap the key points of agreement or disagreement. I like to look for ways to combine perspectives or address concerns that have been raised. The goal isn't compromise, it's creating something stronger through the process of challenge and refinement. Number 7, agree on next steps or revisit the points of dissent. Decide what actions to take, who's responsible, when to check in again. I recommend keeping a dissent log of concerns raised that you can revisit as the project progresses. AI note-taking works particularly well for this as a different way to summarize what's been said in a meeting. And always thank people for their candor, especially those who raise challenging perspectives. That'll encourage them to do it again. I also like to do a quick team reflection. One last tip that I'd like to offer you is that after sessions where significant disagreement has taken place, take 5 minutes to reflect as a group on the process. Let everyone feel heard. What could we improve for next time? This sort of meta conversation builds your team's capacity for productive conflict over time. Okay, so in closing, let's go over why this matters. Comfortable conversations don't create breakthroughs. They reinforce what we already know and believe. The best ideas tend to come from tension, from having our assumptions challenged, our blind spots exposed, and our thinking pushed beyond the obvious. The teams that thrive aren't the ones who always get along. They're the ones who know how to disagree effectively. They build something better because of that disagreement. So next time, when you feel that a meeting's sliding into easy agreement, consider whether a little dissent might be exactly what you need. I'd love to hear your experiences with constructive conflict. What's worked for you? What's been challenging? Drop me a comment or a message directly. And until next time, I'm Fraser. Remember, the goal isn't thinking alike, it's thinking better. The Never Think Alone podcast is brought to you by my tech and experience design agency, Plus Narrative. Plus Narrative has been focused on people-first development, design, and strategy since 2013. I'm a little biased, but if you have an innovation, user experience, or software project brief, or you just need a trained strategist to facilitate your next workshop, I cannot think of a better team to help. We're based in South Africa and Mauritius, so we work with clients and companies all over the world. If you want to find out more, go to plusnarrative.com. We'll put a link in the show notes too. That's plusnarrative.com.